Hello, my name is Apostle Alex McDonald, and I'm so excited to share with you the table of contents and chapter titles of my brand new book, Soar. Here's the proof of it. It's only available for pre-order. You can go to Amazon.com and search Apostle Alex McDonald and Soar, and you'll be able to pre-order that there. Or you can go to my website, apostlealex.com, and pre-order it there. But in this video, I want to share with you the table of contents and the chapter titles. Let me bring this on here. So the table of contents, we have the epigraph. We have an amazing foreword by Matthew Rust. We have the preface. Chapter 1, introduction. We're introducing why this book, why limiting beliefs. What is limiting beliefs, or what are limiting beliefs? Chapter 2, there's a chapter on, did a false belief really age a man 20 years? Now, when I read this story about this guy and I started writing this chapter, it reminded me of a quote that sometimes we live. Let me find it in this book. So at the beginning of each chapter, I have a Bible verse and a quote at the beginning. And this one, it said, our minds have been poisoned and our accepted beliefs are unnatural and artificial. Bryant McGill. And I started thinking about how our beliefs really hold us back. So maybe we don't have a belief that's aging us 20 years like this guy did, but maybe our belief is preventing us from having a happy relationship or from enjoying life to the fullest. And let me go back to the chapters. So chapter 3 is how limiting beliefs affect your life. Chapter 4, how you can tell if a limiting belief is false. Chapter 5, I dug into the Bible and really started to understand Simon Peter's life and the things that he struggled with, the dreams that he had, his relationship with Jesus, and the way that God used him to preach a sermon on the day of the Pentecost and save over 3,000 souls. Such an amazing chapter. Probably my favorite chapter in the book. Can't wait for you to read that one. Chapter 6, how do you acquire a limiting belief? And when we think about the time that we're living in right now, and we see the division, we see the angst, we see the confusion, and we see all the negativity in our world, and truly it is affecting us. But let's go back. The way that we acquire limiting belief is through everything that influences us, from our parents and our siblings to our classmates and peers and our teachers. And I think one of the most influential things besides those, because those are very, very powerful influences, but the media, the music we listen to, the shows and movies we watch, the books we read, the things we're seeing when we're scrolling on our phone, those are such powerful things that are influencing us. And I just watched The Social Dilemma yesterday on Netflix. And Netflix is another place that we're having our limiting beliefs programmed. And one of the guys on there talked about how the product of social media and these super tech giants is not just the community. It's not just eyes. It's to change our thoughts and our behavior, but gradually and slowly over time. And they've been able to figure out that they are changing our thinking and our behavior. And that really just made sense to me, because we really are being influenced. One person can believe something because of all the information they've gathered, and another person can believe something from all the information they gathered. And they're two completely opposite things, but they're so set on believing it because they've been given so much information that it is complete truth. And we really have no idea what is the truth. But the thing is, I can tell you the truth about you is that you are worthy, you are lovable, you are able to achieve whatever it is that you have a dream of, and that you should be believed in, and that you're amazing. So this book's going to help you overcome a lot of these limiting beliefs. Let's go back to the chapter titles. So chapter number 7 is such a crazy chapter. It says how a false belief caused a man to freeze to death. And when I read this story and included in this book, I was thinking about how Emerson said most men live lives of quiet desperation. And I think it was Ben Franklin who said most men die at 25 and are buried at 75. And so maybe we're not literally being frozen to death when it's not freezing and dying, but maybe we're being held back from our truest potential. Chapter 8, discovering your limiting beliefs. Chapter 9, how to eliminate your limiting belief. And so this is the 7-step process in this chapter. And there's a bonus 8th step that I thought was just so important, and it's about affirmations. And what I can tell you about affirmations is that my affirmation statement has truly changed my life. And so chapter 9 on how to eliminate a limiting belief is so easy to do, but it's also so easy not to do. It's so easy to just to come home from work and turn on the TV or scroll through your phone and just let the world program you rather than you programming your mind. And so that's such an important chapter, but I want to talk about the affirmation statement for a minute. Within my affirmation statement that I wrote based on this audio called Faith It Till You Make It by Rob Robson, one of the things I wrote in there was that today I'm balancing my time connecting to my creator, studying and learning from the greatest minds of all time, and I'm humbly piecing together acquired knowledge into easy to understand, relatable lessons that will be shared with millions from stages, on recordings, in books, on the web, and personally through close connected relationships. And so that was a thought that I had, and thoughts are things. And now those thoughts are now a reality. I'm a published author with 2 books that just totally blows my mind. And so whatever you tell yourself will become true. Because I remember when I first wrote that 5 years ago, I was like, there's no way I could ever get published. There's no way I could ever be an author. But I stopped telling myself those lies. There's no way I could blah, blah, blah. And I started believing the truth. I started programming my mind with the truth and using emotion and repetition to tell myself that affirmation statement every day. And lo and behold, here we are with a couple of books out. So make sure you use affirmation statements. Make sure you read through this chapter. It's going to change your life. Chapter 10, Alfred Nobel changes his legacy. Maybe that name doesn't sound very familiar to you right now, but if I say the Nobel Peace Prize, it's a prize that's selected every year. So you hear his name every January or February, and it probably never really was something that you thought about. But this guy, man, he woke up one day, picked up the newspaper, started reading the newspaper, and they accidentally published his obituary. And what did he read? Was it, oh, this wonderful guy passed away and we send our condolences? No, it was the merchant of death is dead. And they were saying such horrible things about him. They were saying that he was there just to kill people. He became rich by finding ways to kill more people faster than ever before. And they didn't have anything good to say about him. And so I know if I read my obituary and it was super negative and super hurtful, it would definitely affect me. And I don't know how I would handle that. But the way that this guy handled it was he changed his legacy. And today, over 119 years later, we're hearing his name every year. And he's celebrating peace. So that's such an interesting chapter on his life, the things that he went through, the way that he became who he became, and then from that pivoting point, what he did with those circumstances and how he changed his legacy. Chapter 11, I went back to the Bible and dug into the parable of the lost son and really, really took it from a standpoint of how is this talking about limiting beliefs and helping others with their limiting beliefs? The prodigal son, he had some limiting beliefs, and the father helped him overcome them. And there's a lot of sermons out there talking about how the father represents God, and he's always going to have open arms for us if we run back to him. And I love those sermons, and I appreciate that story. But I went from another standpoint and dug into how can we be like the father of the prodigal son? How can we be like most of us are like the prodigal son and we have these limiting beliefs? How can we overcome them with the help of the Bible, with the help of a loved one that believes in us and sees the truth about us? And how can we be like the Father as well? So that's such a good chapter. Chapter 12 is about being the voice of truth for others. We're in a cancel culture, and we're in a culture of negativity and division. During Jesus' time here on earth, he was known as a radical because he was teaching things that was completely different than the current culture. And this chapter is going to teach you those same things. Maybe I'll be labeled a radical, or maybe people say you're an idiot, or I'm not doing that, and I don't like you, or your cat has fat ankles, and your shirt is ugly. And I'm not going to care about any of that because I have a message that says to be different than the world. We know that the road to hell is wide and paved and smooth, but the path to heaven is narrow. So I want to encourage you to follow me down that narrow path. Look towards Jesus and try to be more like Jesus. I want to encourage you to be forgiving. Give people a second chance, a third, fourth, fifth, 100, 1,000th chance. And know that you're going to be hurt. Know that it's going to hurt, but do it anyways. Forgive anyways. Give grace anyways. Give love anyways. Then chapter 13, I come to the conclusion in this book. And then I have some suggested readings, some books that you can dig into so you can understand how I came up with some of the concepts in this book, where I stole it all from, and you can understand it deeper and start to transform your mind. The number one investment you can make is an investment in yourself. You can earn $1 today and they can take it away. But if you gain some knowledge today, they can't take it away. Put it in your mind and let it transform the way you think about yourself, the way you think about the world. Let it change your behavior. Let it change your actions, and let it change your results. And so dig into that suggested reading book, the 13 books that I included in the suggested reading. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to understand it better than me. Maybe you'll be able to teach it better than me. Maybe you'll be able to help me understand some of these things better. But the one thing I know is that if you read these 13 books, you will develop more confidence, you will overcome all your limiting beliefs, and you'll understand the way that your mind works even better. But this book will help get you started. It's about 150 pages, and I poured my heart into it, and I'm so excited for you to get it. I believe it'll make a huge difference in your life, and you'll be able to soar higher like the eagles rather than being stuck on the ground, pecking at the ground, feeling like I don't belong here. Make sure you go to Amazon and get this book, or go to apostlealex.com. And I look forward to you reading this starting October 16th when it's released. Right now it's available for pre-order. So please get it. Please share it with others. And please let it transform the way you think about yourself, overcome your limiting beliefs, and break through the barriers that are holding you back. I want to give a shout out to Rafiq Shua for the cover, Matt Russ for the forward, my beautiful wife, Stephanie McDonald, for all the editing and revisions and helping me think through and talk through these concepts, making this book truly what it is, and all of you for your support, encouragement, and the purchasing of this book, because it's going to make a huge difference in lots of lives. And I'm just so excited to see the ripple effect of what you can do when you change your beliefs, when you change your thoughts, when you eliminate your limiting beliefs, what you can do. There's so much power in our personal belief systems, and you can find lasting happiness and success. I believe in you and I love you. I'll see you at the top, so I'll see you real soon.